Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. You want to see more? Hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Motorsport Manager. We're on to episode number 6. We've already made one driver lineup change in Haley Deegan. We're looking to make another, and I just got some mail back on that from Courtney Crone, and the offer is accepted. Nice, so we will be able to get her signed on as well now. We actually have another offer in for Claire Decker. Now, Courtney... $264,000. I know Ocon was out of reach. Yeah, $499. Courtney Crone, less. Okay, it's going to cost us less. There we go. That is a massive difference from where we were. 2 drivers, 3-star. They're both on number 2 contract status. So that'll actually help us out in the long term. And her marketability a little bit higher. She built it home. So we got to watch out for that one, but that's only one race. Pretty balanced. That'll work out for us. That'll definitely work out for us. So with that, we have signed on another driver. And we're very happy with the massive improvement of Deegan and Crone. Crone's a driver that I'm not familiar with, but Deegan, I've seen some stuff on her, and she's like 3rd tier NASCAR, and she's won a few races this year. And is definitely an up-and-comer who's on a lot of people's radar. At least in the US, anyway. Claire Decker, the other one we were going at, looks like she wants more money. I'm actually still willing to kind of take a look here. Because ultimately... doesn't hurt to have 3 drivers, and she actually is a little bit better than the 2 we have now. And I don't know what her marketability is, but maybe, maybe it'll be worth it. So we do still have a reserve driver, so it wouldn't necessarily hurt to have a trio of drivers available. So we'll give that last offer, and then we'll kind of reevaluate as the time comes whether to do that or not. Finally, we have some sponsorship offers now that we have some drivers. They popped up almost right away. Marketability for the team jumps to 50% just like that, with the high marks of Deegan and Crone. And then the team marketability, yeah, that's garbage. But just like that, we're looking a lot better. So let's see what we have here. All 2 stars, medium length. We have up front. And we have bonuses for 19th or above, which is out of our team's reach. Normally, that would be perfect, as 19 out of 20 is always going to be doable. But this is out of 24. So we're only guaranteed 23rd, and the only way we get to 19th is if there are 4 cars or more out of the race at this point. So Maxis is definitely out. And then we're looking at up front. See, it's about 300,000 less per race. And we're getting about 400,000 per race on this deal. So we're getting more than 400,000 here. By a couple 100,000 plus, it'll be done sooner. We'll have a chance to get another deal. So let's go ahead and take the American Express offer. Slightly higher value by 200,000 over those 8 races. So it's only about 50,000 better per race, but it's still better. We have a full 3 offers here too. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one. We're looking at a couple 19th or aboves again, or we have an upfront payment and a really, really weak upfront payment. It's just 1 star. This deal looking far better, but again, it puts us in a predicament because we might not actually earn it at any point in time. It's going to expire after 1 race. It's better to just let it expire and try again because none of these deals are good. That one's at least a little bit better than what we had over there, but that's still not a good deal either. So we'll sit on that one for now. This is 10 race, 17th or above, also out of reach. So none of the offers here are good at this point. So we're going to sit on all of those deals for the time being. Alright, more sponsor bonuses available. That was the one we were already sitting on. Here we go. Fixed pay versus an upfront. I like the fixed pay because it does help the balance. I can't even read what that one is. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. We'll take the fixed pay. Let's see, that's 3 million, give or take. So it's actually a better deal than that one anyway. 2 more here as well. The upfront payment here, a lot better than what we had before. Still not very good though. It's about 250,000 per race. Or a little over, close to 300,000 per race. I guess we'll take it. It helps. We're up to 58 million. And this one we'll wait till next race to see what comes up. Back to the car now. 2 new parts done since the last race. Both suspension related. And we'll look to making a 3rd. That's still good. I wonder if that's what I just made. No, it's not. This is that 1 more. Alright, that previous engine we made is looking good now. 366. So now we're looking in the suspension department. Yeah, we've done 2 renditions so far. First one will get on, they'll both be on the car this week, so that'll be nice. Be a little bit better in that department, but the next one will be the better one. So I don't need to invest anything there, but we'll put them on the cars. Now, I do have 2 drivers, but they're both okay with being number 2, and they're pretty much equal. Keegan's already got the better car, so we'll just stick with that for now. Let's see, Cape Town, how are we looking? It's going to be 76 laps. It's a short track. It's really abrasive, so there's going to be a lot of tire wear. Yeah, I'd love a test track too. Actually, speaking of, we might go take a look. Oh, come on. Tire heating -1. As if things weren't bad enough already. a random problem that we can't do anything about. Speaking of problems, let's see what we can do to improve this headquarters a little bit more. No upgrades. We can do new stuff. A staff center will certainly help us. Scouting facility will help us. Maybe we'll do both. The money we've been doing okay with. Forecasting, not worried about that right now. It's down the road. Scouting, even that. Actually, scouting I don't need right now. It's only 2 million, but let's just get it done. It's 2 million. We won't do the next phase. We'll just do that one though. Alright. Sponsors looking a little bit better, right in the middle. Staff, of course, massive improvement there. Drivers, we're still lowest. Still lowest, but at least the driver's competitive now. The thing that we really need, though, is that car to get up to a competitive level. Okay, Decker rejects the offer, so we'll just stick with the two we ended up with. We won't take on the third driver. We'll keep that reserve driver. That'll help us save some money. Okay, reliability work was done on that engine. Oh, interesting. 97. Ooh. Okay, with this mod, they don't top out at 100. Gearbox at just 83. Let's go ahead and work on that one. Everything right now is pretty usable though, so we'll kind of focus more of our staff on improvement, as that's the area we need by far anyway. 19th or above, the one bonus to go for. Probably not going to reach it. Car is very much the slow one. Now we're going to want some ultras, but for the race, we'll go with the 4 and 4. This is what we've been kind of bringing lately, and it works just fine. So yeah, 23rd, 24th, but let's fit some parts. Car will be a little bit better this time than it was. As in, like, there's a new engine. Hooray! And even Chrome's gonna get a better engine as well. Better gearbox, 70%. Oh no, it's only one better. We'll take the 89%. Okay, and then the suspension. Definitely better. Big step from where we were. Now it's just the brakes we have not touched yet. So we'll be moving on to brakes after this current suspension is done. And then we'll start kind of revisiting what we could do and where. But yeah. Sad thing is, without improvements to the headquarters, I'm not sure what else we're going to be able to do this season. And we're still so far off the back. Getting really worried about that. We'll see if this suspension gets us any closer. Because brakes, that might not be enough, right? And we're still looking at a prediction of 23rd and 24th. We are in for some rain, so maybe, just maybe. Oh, it's race only. Maybe, just maybe, that can work to our favor. But I doubt it. I mean, our pace is just pitiful. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I know I said it in the previous episode, but I'm very much at that. I wish we were in the same boat Williams is in. Williams at least has good staff, good headquarters. And even though they are off the pace and well off the back, their version of well off the back is much closer to the field than our version of well off the back. But we have made some drastic improvement to the car, so we'll see. 2 better drivers, we'll see. Feedback from Krone is also going to be a lot better, so we'll see if I can get a little bit more bonus out there. It'll certainly make a difference. Now, 70-something lap race. Was it 75? So 28, 29 laps, that's definitely not going to make it. But it would make it on a 2-stopper. The Ultras aren't going anywhere. I mean, that's slow. And that is very slow. A 2-stopper with 3 sets of supers. That might be good. I need to see kind of what the pace difference is between them and the soft, because the soft could clearly go on a 1-stopper. So how much are we losing per lap? How about I put one of them on supers and one on soft and run that first lap? That's what we'll do. So you're going to stay on supers because you're already on it. Car setup. We'll work with that first. You're on ultras, and that's definitely going to have to change. So we're going to put you on soft. We're going to take 1 test lap to see. Now Krone should naturally be a little bit slower. Her car is not quite as good, but we'll see how big of a gap there is between the two. Qualifying trim. Take it. Wasting 15 seconds of our time. Okay, I need to wait for both cars because I need an evaluation. Okay, now. Oh, I don't even get a time for that. I don't get a time for that. They have to run 1 full lap. Shoot. Alright, well, let's go ahead and make some car setup changes. And we'll just make it subtle. That's going to give me a bit to work with. So we're going to have to run more than 1 lap. In fact, it's essentially going to end up being 3 laps that they're running. Alright, and we'll do the same. Very poor. Alright, both cars heading out. Not really opening a gap, so the cars are pretty close to one another. But you can see Deegan's definitely getting away off the corners. And I'm definitely opening up a gap now after a couple laps. Did we get a complete lap in? Yes, we did. Okay, let's bring him... Wait, where's Krone? Krone, why don't I have a time for you? $1:16.6. Okay, I'm going to keep her on those tires because I have a feeling that there's a pretty significant gap. Yeah, 1:17.6. It's a full second slower. Now, gotta assume that half a second of that are upgrades. That's still half a second per lap slower. But 1 whole pit stop. Oh man, that's 30 seconds, and that's 20-something seconds. So yeah, we're gonna go for a 2-stopper. We'll go for a two-stopper, I think. Over the long haul, super softs are just going to be that much faster. Alright, so both cars out on track. By the way, I would love it if F1 came back to Cape Town. I've never seen an actual race there, televised or otherwise. But from this game anyway, it looks like a neat track, and I've heard good things. Okay, yeah, you can see much closer together now. Crone with the fresher tires. Oh, wow! Hello, purple, purple, purple! We've done it. 98% purple, purple, purple. We got a purple people eater. And look at that, we're already nearly on race trim level 3. So I'm actually just going to send you back out for 4 because... No. You're going to switch to the qualifying trim and you're going to go 3 laps. And hold on. Tegan's already back. '93. We're going to keep her on the race trim for now. So we're adding to the bonuses that we're going to get now. Super soft already, level 2. Alright, I think Deegan's about to hit level 3 on the race trim. There it is. So we're going to bring Deegan back in this lap. We'll get her switched over to the qualifying trim. You can see we're still massively off the pace. But you add in the bonuses, we get some rain bonuses. You know, maybe, just maybe. Okay, so soft balance, she did go over. I wondered about that. It was in between these two grates, which means we need to be kind of on the edge between the E and the D. Just like that. And then we are great here. It's just gotta be really close. Fine trim. 3-lapper. And we're gonna get that super soft bonus before we do anything else. It's kind of weird to intentionally go for a 2-stopper. But that's what we're gonna do. Alright, where's Crone at? Crone's further back down the track. We're both gonna be heading in this time. We've got 3.5 minutes. We'll see what kind of qualifying bonus we can get, but we're still not quite there. 96%. We only went up 1%. Really? There's no way that was only 1%. I must have gone past it on the downforce. So we're going to bring that back down and then take a couple back the other way. Because there's no way we only picked up 1% on that. Now, I wonder if I can... Can we go back to that setup, please? Yeah, we'll just take that. Get back out there, and we're going to try for the ultras. Okay, we're going to let these two run it out the rest of the way on the Ultras, see what kind of bonuses they can get for qualifying, and the Ultra Soft tire. Just over a minute left, so it looks unlikely that we're going to get anything else. But if they cross the line here before time runs out, they do. They get one more lap in, maybe. Both bonuses are going to come up just short, I think. And they do. So close. So close. But that's still massive difference from where we were a couple races ago, where we had just reserve drivers in the car. Ooh, I thought qualifying was going to be dry, but no, qualifying is wet as well. Excuse me. Okay, we got her to purple. It worked. Deegan, nice. I'm just going to simulate, though. We are still crap. We are still well to the back. So we're going to save that time. We will definitely carry out with qualifying eventually. But when you're already the slowest of the slow, it's just not a big deal. Ooh, it dried up just before the end. And yeah, there you go. 6.3 for Deegan, 6.8 for Crone, and we're still twice the gap. I mean, they're 3 seconds behind the leader. We're an additional 3 seconds behind them. So you have the entire 22 cars spread out over the same distance between us in 23rd and the car in 22nd. It's really starting to bother me that the pictures were all off canter, and you've got half of the Formula One drivers are somebody else's face than their own. So, got to ignore the pictures for the most part, but the names are real. It seems like everybody outside of the Formula One drivers were fine. I'm guessing it has something to do with the introduction of our team to the mod. It changed the order, and then the pictures that were selected for the wrong drivers because the team was in the wrong slot. That's my guess. Oh, look at that. Williams all the way up in 18th. Hamilton was fastest at Q2. We'll see who takes it, as it looks like it's going from wet to dry here in session Q3. Back to wet. Bottas fastest so far. Boy, that was all over the place. Raikkonen, Norris, Sainz never got in regular times. But Vettel ends up on pole over Bottas and Leclerc. Verstappen, Gasly. Hamilton was one of the ones who never quite got. He got caught out in between. In between wet and dry conditions. Now, what I'm hoping for... No, actually, what I'm always hoping for in this case, as we're so far off the pace, strategy is not going to have an impact when we're 3 seconds a lap slower than the next car. Strategy can make up for a few seconds, but it can make up for 20 or 30 seconds over an entire race. But it's definitely not going to make up over 3 seconds a lap. we have our 30% bonus. That's a big step in the right direction. It looks like it's raining early on. Strong enough for intermediates. That's quite a few laps, so yeah, we need to be on the intermediates. So here we go. From the back of the grid, everybody's unlocked, so they're all on intermediates. Is there anybody who opted for dry tires? No. Everybody on the intermediates. So here we go. From Cape Town. We're so far back, we're around the corner. And let's go racing. Decent start from both drivers, but they cannot get ahead of anyone. And now they're caught up in the spray through the tightest turn as we switch back the other way on this one-way road. Take the little side road. Crone gets the better start, gets ahead of Deegan, and both of them are still competitive at the moment. They have not been dropped from the rest of the field. Not yet anyway. 76 laps is the distance for this one. It is definitely going to be a two-stopper. Oh, somebody is behind us. I don't know what happened there, but Alonso made a mistake, and this is Fernando Alonso riding for Alpine, and he's in last place. We'll ride with him as he makes his way past my drivers, though, as he clearly will in the next few laps. But there you go. Alonso gets ahead of Deegan. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 2, and Charles Leclerc has crashed. Leclerc is out of this race. We already just went around him, and oh, he's back in the garage just like that. That was fast. But Alonso is passed, so hey, another race where we will not be in last place. And that's one Ferrari out of this race. That was a Ferrari who started from the third position from the second row. The other Ferrari, meanwhile, Vettel, who started on pole, is not leading this race. It is Max Verstappen, 2.5 seconds clear. Hamilton has already moved up to third place. Everybody's out there on the intermediates. Track just damp right now, but it's definitely going to pick up, and ooh, even though it's going to stop, it will apparently pick back up. Let's go ahead and bring Deegan down. As we're kind of hitting that happy zone, let's put you down as well, Crone. And we're going to speed things up for a little while. So there you go. We've already dropped off pace. The rest of the field pretty tight outside of the top two cars that pulled away a little bit. But Hamilton at 5 seconds. Everybody else is within 15 seconds of Hamilton. So it's pretty compact within the field. And then there's us. We are already 7 seconds behind Alonso. And remember, Alonso made that mistake, but Alonso has caught up to the back end of his teammate Van Dorn. It's funny that they've got those two together again. It's like somebody who couldn't let go of McLaren worked on this mod. But Crone stays ahead of Deegan. That's a big, big difference from every race up until now. Well, we've only had Deegan for a couple races, but Deegan ended up well clear of her teammate. And even though Deegan's car is a little bit faster, Crone got the jump off the line, and that's putting Crone ahead. Looks like on neutral the tires are holding. We are not saving fuel quite as well. Remember, we did take that -1 on tire heating, so the tires are heating up pretty easily. And we're still not that far back. I mean, we're drifting further and further back, but not as bad as it could be. 15 seconds. It's only been 7 laps. So we're losing 2 seconds a lap right now on the back end of the field. But at least it's not 3. And I think that's down to that 30% bonus that we have, the race, and, well, 15-second bonus because we're on intermediate tires. Okay, keeping an eye on the weather is going to be a big thing. It's going to dry, get wet, dry again, but it does look like at some point there Could probably get away with going to a dry tire. Well, let's go ahead and check in on the battle at the front, as there's very little action going on with our two drivers in the meantime. But we have Max Verstappen with the face of Lance Stroll in the lead. He's on poor form right now, so it could be difficult for him to hold this lead. And Vettel has closed him down somewhat, just 2.2 seconds behind now. And those top three cars are getting pretty close. Hamilton had been tight to the rest of the field, but he has pulled well away from Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg, who was just over 5 seconds back, is now 10 seconds back. Field has stretched out a bit. They are now gone, at least from Hulkenberg. 25 seconds is the gap back to Van Dorn. So the field is starting to open up, stretch out quite a bit. And the gap to us, it's over 20 seconds now. But that's through 9 laps for us, 10 laps for the rest of the field. 9.5 laps for those guys. That's still, we're right about 2 seconds a lap, so it's something. Now, I see Krone's tires starting to cool a little bit, so we're going to have her push for now. And let's go ahead and drop her to medium while she's doing that, so she can recover some of that fuel loss. A bit of a deficit. However, we are going to get lapped fairly soon, so let's just keep you on high. Take the lapping, get a free lap of fuel burn out of that. And yes, the track will be drying out before too long. In fact, the rain's already taken a step back. But let's speed things up for a little while. Yeah, low fuel delta. It's okay. She's going to get lapped soon. I'm going to cut it down to 4 as Deegan's about to get lapped by Verstappen, and Vettel has caught up to him, just 0.4 of a second behind. Verstappen's going to get around first, but Vettel gets around close after and pulls away a little bit for now. Looks like Deegan's kind of just holding steady on the tire heating. But you can see we're already back down to almost level at just negative 0.18. Krone, though, has not been lapped yet, but she's just right there, so she'll get lapped very soon. Comes Max. Max gets by to the outside. Krone defends for now, and Krone is lapped. Now it's top 5, 6, 7 cars have really pulled away quite a bit. Top 12 cars have opened up a gap to the back markers. So we've got 13 through 21. So Jean-Eric Verne down through George Russell are all pretty close together. Nobody has pit yet. We are 31 seconds behind at 15 laps. So again, it's right about 2 seconds a lap that we are off the pace. That's too much to overcome. I mean, we are already too far down for anything to really, really pan out for us to have any hope of actually beating any cars on track. What we need is another Charles Leclerc kind of moment. Somebody to crash out, have a mechanical. That's the only kind of thing that's going to get us back in this race, because on track, nothing's going to happen. Now, we're already down to damp. It's going to rain a little bit again, but that's it. So what I'm thinking is I need to bring somebody in, make a bold call. Could be Krone, who is a little bit worse for wear here. And let's go to the Super Softs. Now there's still 60 laps to go, so she's looking at 2 stops. This one plus 1 more at 30 laps each, if it stays dry. Maybe we should wait 1 more lap just to give us a little more wiggle room, because I think those will only make it about 29. And here comes the rain again too. Let's do 2 laps. So we'll wait till lap 18. And actually, I'm not necessarily having to do the 30 laps because we're getting lapped, right? Okay, so Crone, we're going to bring you in this time. We're going to put you on the Super Softs. It is sprinkling right now, but you can see it's not going to pick up too much. So I'm hoping, maybe, just maybe, a stop now is going to give us more pace. And with that additional pace, we might, by being the first ones to go on the softs, we might start to be able to claw some time back. Because right now we are being lapped by 6th place Carlos Sainz Jr. He's ahead of Gasly, so that looks like real life. And there's Gasly trying to get by us now. So obviously the big 6 are well out of reach, but can we maybe catch the back markers? Will we be a second or two a lap faster? We'll find out now. See how our times compare. We'll start with our teammate and see if we're faster or slower. If we are faster, then Deegan's going to come in as well. Okay, so we have a 12-second gap. Second gap between them. Right now it appears to be holding at 12, but we're a couple tenths inside of that now. It does look like it's a little bit faster. 11.5. Yes, it is faster. It is faster. So Deegan is going to pit this next lap, which means you're going to attack for now. And let's drop you to medium here. So Deegan, we're going to go to the Super Softs. They are faster. They're a half a second per lap faster with the current situation. The track's going to get better from here as it dries out. It's going to get faster and faster. And we're going to make up even more time than we already are. Time to be bold. Go for it. The unfortunate thing is we're nearly a lap down as it is right now. So Deegan into the pits. It's a good stop. 2.1 seconds. That is a fantastic pit stop from the pit crew. There goes Crone, so Crone's going to retain that 22nd. And there's Deegan in 23rd. Here's the problem, though. 17th place is right behind her, so we're practically a lap down already on the field. However, nobody else has pit besides us. And it's a pretty short track here. So we will get some time back. Now you need to drop to neutral. How close are the leaders? We are almost a lap down again, so go ahead and go back to that push. Deegan has some competition around her, so we'll kind of ride with them. But let's go times 4. Not much action going on. They are still faster than us, but not exactly. I mean, they're not flying by us the way they were before. Well, that was kind of nasty there. So we're just about competitive with the other cars right now. Almost. We're still off the pace compared to them. So even with a bold strategy call, and there you go, Kvyat, Giovinazzi, Kubica, Alonso, all putting on the Super Softs. They saw that we were faster, and they decided to join us. But here comes Max Verstappen, the race leader with Vettel, right on him again to lap us a second time. But again, those guys have not pit yet, so at least there's that for me. Alright, Crone, let's keep those tires up just a little bit. There we go, back to neutral. And here comes a bunch of cars pitting, so we are back within a lap of all the back markers. But we're still 55 seconds behind Felipe Massa after 26 laps and 1 stop for them now. So it's still right about that 2 seconds a lap mark. We're just over 2 seconds a lap. So it's better than where we were in practice, where we were 3 seconds a lap off the pace. In qualifying, where we were 3 seconds off the pace. Our race pace looking a little bit better. But it's still 2 seconds off the pace compared to everybody else. Track is dry. Let's see if it's going to stay dry for a while. And yes, it should stay dry for a good while here. But at 2 seconds a lap off the pace, even though we just gained a bit by pitting earlier than everyone else, and that worked out pretty well for us. Pierre Gasly, the only car on Ultras. Everybody else came out on the Super Softs. Ooh, Hamilton has a look to the inside of Sebastian Vettel through that lap traffic, and he does complete the pass. So Vettel gets passed by Hamilton. Hamilton was about 5 seconds behind through the pit stop, and thereafter Hamilton has caught and now passed Sebastian Vettel for second place in this race. I might remember that Max Verstappen was right there, but not anymore. There is Verstappen now, as Hamilton is closing him down as well. So we'll stay on with Lewis for a while here as he closes in on the race lead. Now just 0.6 of a second behind, 0.5, 0.4. He's getting closer and closer. 30 laps in now, and with a dry track, Hamilton is definitely the fastest car as he gets around the Williams there. Our gap is now 70 seconds through 31 laps. So that's that. We're holding pretty steady at that little over 2 seconds a lap off the pace. That still feels closer than where we were before, but that's well off from where we need to be. And there's not a lot else that we could do to the car this season, as Hamilton has a look to the inside. He gets around Verstappen. Verstappen tries to get back at him, cannot make it happen. And Hamilton is now into the race lead and quickly pulling away from Max Verstappen. But Max Verstappen comes back at him pretty hard at the end of that straight. Hard into the brakes, very late. And he's right behind Hamilton again. But those straightaways, you can definitely see the pace that the Mercedes has over the Red Bull, and Hamilton, your new race leader, is starting to open up a gap. Speaking of opening up a gap, he just passed Vettel 6-7 laps ago. Vettel's 8.4 seconds down. Hulkenberg still in fourth. No, Hulkenberg was just passed by Hamilton's teammate, Valtteri Bottas. Bottas fighting still with Hulkenberg, and we have a crash. It's Pierre Gasly. Pierre Gasly is out of this race. It's going to be quite a while before we get past him, though. So we'll ride on board with Krone, who Deegan is catching back up to Krone a little bit here of late. And we've got one full lap to go to get around Gasly before we take 21st position. And still not yet. Still not yet. We still have another lap to go. We are that far behind. Oh my goodness. There it is. It was based on where he crashed. Into 21st and 22nd position. Our objective still 2 spots away. We need 2 more cars out of this race to get that sponsor bonus, that very, very useful sponsor bonus, as we need to commit all the money we can to improving this team if we are ever going to get competitive this season. Back at the front, Hamilton now out to an over 5-second lead over Max Verstappen in P2. Vettel holding steady at about 8 seconds behind, so he's actually closing back in on Max Verstappen. After drifting further back, Hulkenberg continues to fall further adrift, but he has re-overtaken Valtteri Bottas, at least for now. Bottas is just right behind him there, so this is the best battle on track. A little ride with this one for a while. It's now 40 laps. There are 36 left to go, and in terms of tire wear for my drivers, Krone is going to have to pit a bit sooner. Remember, she did pit 2 to 3 laps earlier, as Bottas does get around Hulkenberg for now, and they've got the Williams in front of them, though, holding them up. Can Bottas get around? No, for now, Hulkenberg looking to re-overtake Bottas, as Bottas is struggling to pass the Williams. And there he goes. Finally, Bottas gets by And he's going to pull quickly away from Hulkenberg. Now it's Hulkenberg who's going to have to pass the lapped car. That's George Russell, by the way. And Hulkenberg does finally get by, but Bottas has pulled away. So Bottas up to P4 now. Hulkenberg down to P5. Carlos Sainz still racing in position number 6, 43 seconds behind the leader. Raikkonen further adrift in P7. It is Perez in P8, not too far behind Raikkonen. And well close. Safety car. Safety car is out now. I've got 33 laps to go. 33. The safety car could and should give me the opportunity for these super softs. So we're going to pit now. We're going to use the free pit stop in the safety car. And I will double stack this one. Let's go ahead and slow it down. So Krone will be coming in first. We are going to double stack. There are only 2 seconds per pit stop, so we've got really good. And a lot of cars are going to be coming in here. But Fernando Alonso has crashed. That is going to move us up 1 more spot in the grid order as well. So we are now 1 spot away. And yeah, that's not a long wait. It's okay with the safety car. I don't mind doing that at all. Okay, we're going to save fuel. But we want to try to keep the tires warm. We're going to need to get some extra life out of these tires as well now, as we're going to try to go to the end. Now, a few cars put on the soft to be sure to go to the end, but we're going to kind of hold up and see what we can do. This is going to shrink the field back up a little bit. Unfortunately, though, we might be a full lap down on Felipe Massa at this point, so it won't matter what happens. We'll see as things close up, as the field bunches up. And also, unfortunately, in this one, unlike real life, where they let the lapped cars go by, that is not going to happen here. We will be stuck behind the safety car. Safety car heading to the garage this time. And yes, you can see gaps as they close up. Cars left on the lead lap are 11 cars through Lando Norris. Giovinazzi lap down. And we are 2 laps down, maybe even. We're double. We might be 4 laps down. So we might be 2 full laps behind Massa at this point. Ouch. But at least we are just one DNF away from at least getting the sponsor bonus. Krone and Deegan, they'll have a chance to battle it out now. Turn up that fuel mode as we are ready to go racing again. Krone immediately passed and dropping back. Deegan, a couple cars behind. Got a Red Bull and a Toro Rosso in between. There goes the Red Bull. That's Max Verstappen, who is now in P3, by the way. Vettel has moved up to P2. And let's see what's going on with that battle, because Hamilton stopped again. Vettel did not stop. That is how Verstappen has dropped to 3rd place. It was not an on-track pass. You didn't miss anything there, but it did happen in the pits. Hamilton in the lead. Vettel on used super softs will absolutely have to pit again. Hamilton, Verstappen could be good to go to the end. We could be good to go to the end. Bottas, they're all going to have to pit again. Now looking up, Massa, he's going to have to pit again. But looking at the timings, all those guys, yeah, it's 11 cars lead lap. 12 cars through 12th through 19th are all 1 lap down. And unfortunately, we are, from the looks of it, 3 or 4 laps down. So Vettel is now dropping back, but so is Verstappen. And Hamilton made a mistake. Hamilton made a mistake on that corner, and Vettel got around. Hamilton was 2.5 seconds clear, but went wide. He went wide on the tight hairpin there. I'm not sure if that's a full hairpin, but We'll see it again here. I'll point out where it was. I spotted it just at the edge of my screen. And it is coming up on... Oh, we've still got a ways to go. My cars actually just went around it as we have now been passed by everybody, but we're going to have nice clean air to run in for a while. It's still Crone ahead of Deegan, so my two cars, this is the corner right here. It went wide right there, just missing the wall and going wide, and he lost a good 3 seconds there. Kvyat just ran wide, I think in the same corner where Hamilton had. So Vettel into the race lead after a mistake, and we've got yellow sector 3. Nobody's out of the race, but Raikkonen is going to pick up a drive-through penalty for causing a collision. That's not going to do me any good, but that's definitely going to thwart his race, his chances today, as he is now out of the points, which he was up around P7 not so long ago. And this drive-through is going to set him back even further. He'll definitely be no better than P11 once he's done with that. We'll see if Giovinazzi gets any closer. 11th is the back end of the group on the lead lap. So really, it's going to be an 11-car race from here. Lap 50 starting. Landmark lap. And you can see how far my cars are off the pace, as they have literally been passed by everyone in the field. And a good gap has opened up. Raikkonen did not take their drive-through penalty. Interesting. You do have more than one lap to comply. We'll go ahead and stay with Raikkonen and see how far back they are. They might even have damaged... I don't know if that's just the penalty or if that's damage to the car. Might not be the only ones with damage either, but this is way too far ahead of us to have any positive impact on my drivers, though we are closer to where we were, 250 seconds behind instead of 330. Raikkonen still not taking the drive-through penalty. 25 laps left to go. I'm really surprised that Raikkonen continues to avoid taking his drive-through penalty. But George Russell has come in as his used Super Softs are completely wasted. And he's going to head back out with a fresh set of Super Softs. He'll definitely go to the end on that. Crone gets by, and that's now the 19th place car. And we're now within... well... from the looks of it, we're within 2 laps. So, that was sad that we couldn't get closer, that we had been lapped as many times as we had. We're just too far off the pace. I mean, just over 2 seconds a lap adds up really quick, especially on a short track where, you know, the lap times are, what, in the 70s? Vettel's still leading this race, by the way. So after Hamilton's mistake, Vettel has retained the lead. But Vettel will have to stop, and Hamilton's going to be good to go to the end. So don't think that Vettel has this race won by any means. But at least when Hamilton re-entered the track, he didn't block Vettel. Hamilton plays it smart, doesn't pick up a penalty himself. Raikkonen, by the way, still has not served his penalty. There are quite a few cars that have to stop. Kubica has to stop. Jean-Eric Verne's going to have to stop, and Verne's already down in P18. We'll go ahead and check in on him for a second. And the Manor racing team, the team that was well loved but ran out of money just a couple of years ago and dropped from Formula One. He's racing closely with Van Dorn. Van Dorn's actually the one in the other manner, so it's actually not Fernando Alonso. But, by the way, this is the one thing to keep an eye on. We can be ahead of these guys if they continue to not score points. And these cars at the back of the grid, as long as they don't score points, we've got a chance. And as long as there's cars, Raikkonen finally heading into the pit. Kubica also pitting. Raikkonen he's got a drive-through penalty. So he took a pit stop that was necessary. But Raikkonen doesn't take the drive-through, so he still has a penalty to serve. I don't know if he's going to come in next lap for that or not, but he just got himself lapped by race leader Sebastian Vettel, who is actually, amazingly, pulling away right now. He is 10.5 seconds clear of Hamilton. So Hamilton maybe, theoretically here, maybe Hamilton. Ooh, Sainz under investigation as we have a yellow flag. And Sainz is 10-second penalty for causing a collision. But, again, no car out of the race. But Sainz has flat-spotted his tires, and it's going to have to pit. So he's slowly making his way around. But again, this is one of those cars on the lead lap, so it has no impact on my drivers, sadly. Quite a few cars are going to be pitting very soon, Jean-Eric Vergne being one of those. But we are just too far behind to get any benefit of said pit stops. Hulkenberg, Stroll, Sainz all into the pits. Sainz with the flat. Heads back out. And did not take his penalty there, so he must be taking that at the end of the race. He did not sit and wait on that one. By the way, I find it amazing that after this entire race, my drivers are still within a couple seconds of each other. And while the gap was a little bit bigger than that before the safety car, it wasn't much bigger than that. It was 3 or 4 seconds. Krohn has been ahead the entire race, though. Looking at it, I think we might have the tire wear to be able to go the distance. So checking back in up front, and we're going to start speeding things back up. I'm still desperate for somebody to be out of this race. Now, Jean-Eric Vergne just put on the Ultras. He's the furthest one back. We're 150 seconds behind him. We had yellow there for a brief moment, but it did not last. Somebody else just pit. Massa just pit a third time. Ricardo pitting now. Vettel finally pit. Vettel has pit, and he came out in third position, 11 seconds behind. So Hamilton recovers the race lead. Verstappen recovers second place. Perez just pit, dropping to 8th. And that should just about do it for the pit stops, I think. Everybody's going to be able to go the distance from here. 12 laps left. I really need one more car. Ooh, there you go. Vettel coming up on Max Verstappen. Front wing, ignore. My drivers are getting awfully close to each other. Vettel up beside Verstappen using the Manor card. Or is that the Alpine car? It's the Manor. Using the Manor to his advantage, and it ends up backfiring. He nearly got past Verstappen that way, but Verstappen recovers well, passes the Manor, and then uses the Manor to actually block Vettel in the end. But Vettel recovers quickly. He is on the ultra soft compound, so he should have more speed. He should be able to get around Verstappen, who is dropping further and further back of race leader Lewis Hamilton. With just 8 laps left, you got to figure that Hamilton is going to be good to go. We've got a yellow sector 3. Massa, again, being investigated, but nothing here. 10-second penalty for causing a collision, but no cars out of the race. So we had a few incidents of late, but none of them have been to our benefit. Ooh, I like it, Deegan. You're close enough that you're battling with Perez, huh? The 8th place car. That just dropped us back, though. She was just over a second behind Krohn a little bit ago. Both cars at 30% tire wear. Not looking good on that front. I might just take the alternative DNF and go fix the car, knowing that we're too far back and it's not going to have any impact at this point. So let's just do it. So we're going to put you on ultras and we're going to fix the car. So Deegan's going to head in first. And then we'll try to fix Krone's car. So might as well fix it now at the race and save us some time after the race is done. And get right away to working on the cars again. Deegan, long pit stop here. She's sat here for over an entire lap. A lap and a half in the pits there. Alright, Krone, your turn. Put on the ultras. Fix this puppy up. Krone, our parts are a little bit further gone. And she heads in the pits. And there you go. Meanwhile, out on track, Vettel is in the race lead. Hamilton pit again. Are you kidding me? Hamilton, crazy idea. Tactically, that was the dumbest thing that they could have done. He had a 10-second lead and had a bit of tire wear and pit. So did Max Verstappen. Bottas wisely did not, moves up to third place. Vettel, a freebie there, gets the race win. Hulkenberg 5th, Ricciardo 6th, so good day for Renault. Very much best of the rest. And we come up just short of our sponsor objective, 3 DNFs, but we needed 4. And we're still 2 seconds off the pace compared to every other car. That is a large margin. And even with 2 new suspension parts this week, we were still 2 seconds off the pace. Now, 1.5 laps, right? 1.5 laps was that at the end. But that's still 2 laps down compared to everybody else, maybe 3. Oh, 10-second penalty. Drops Massa back. It would be nice if there was a position penalty in there somewhere. There's not. Hamilton gets the fastest lap bonus. But for whatever crazy reason, with just a couple laps to go, they pit Hamilton. He still had tire life left. He was just at the cliff. But 10-second lead, he wasn't going to lose 10 seconds in 2 laps. Not a chance. I mean, he still almost caught up to him, just 7 seconds down. I mean, if pit window's 23, 25 seconds, and he was lost 17, means he gained 6-7 seconds in those couple laps, but surprising. Very surprising. Well, the good news for me is only 14 drivers have scored points after 5 races. Bad news is we continue to be the slowest team out there, and there are 4 teams that have not scored points. All we need is 1 points playing position this season. 1 crazy race with a bunch of cars out, and we'll survive. But right now, it's not looking good. But that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe, and tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Bye for now.